much for being here. It is such an honor and a pleasure to have you as a guest on my channel today to discuss Lilith.
Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, it's a pleasure. In case there's anyone watching who may not be familiar with you yet, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and if you offer any products or services or things like that?
Yeah, so I have a YouTube channel called The Atlantean Alchemist. I share a lot of works around the left-hand path as well as right-hand path. My work is basically trying to unite both paths and create your own individual practice. So I talk a lot about spirit work and magic, and I offer a bunch of readings and I teach courses on my own website.
Awesome. And I love your YouTube channel. I'm subscribed, and I actually have you as one of my featured channels on my channel. So if anyone is looking for that, you'll be able to find it in the description below, and as well as in my featured channels. So what inspired you to initially start working with Lilith?
It was really interesting. When I first met Lilith, it's like the name itself stood out to me, like I've known her before. And I think I was the one that made the first approach to her. And then I realized after connecting with her that it wasn't the first time that we first met. And she took me on a wild ride.
That leads into question number 2. Were you surprised by your experiences with Lilith in any way? If so, can you elaborate with some examples?
Yeah, so first, when she first came into my space, I was surprised by her energy because it immediately makes this energy of like arousal. And it's very interesting to me because like for those of you who don't know, I'm gay. So like it just felt very strange at first, but I realized that this was her energy just radiating through the space. Another experience I had with her was her kind of letting me know she was there. I have a slide-in door before I go into the kitchen, and I had this vision that normally my visions are internal, so this one was external. I opened the slide door and this owl just flies straight at my face. And later on, I end up looking up that she's connected to owls and that her name means screech owl, and exactly the type of owl was that one. And I thought I was gonna get hit by an owl. That's how physical it was.
Wow, that is wild for sure. How do you go about working with Lilith?
I've worked with Lilith mainly in packs. So I've done a few packs with her. The first pact I did with her was I wanted to be able to astral project. So the agreement was that I would give her part of my sexual energy for the exchange of that. And it was the weirdest experience. I think that was the first time I did a pact, but in that one, I did get what I wanted a couple months later. And it was completely unintentional. And when I had given her the sexual energy, it was weird because I was so out of it for like 3 days. It was like there was no sexual desire whatsoever for 3 days. And it was after that that now I've learned how to astral project. I know kind of like what my methods are that work for me. And now I can go pretty much whenever I want because of her. And another pact I've done with her that's more recent right now, I can't discuss the details because it's not all done yet. Okay. But basically it's a focus of like maintaining healthiness and youthfulness as I age.
How has she helped you as an individual?
Lilith, I took a course on her as well, a course by a YouTuber named Joey Morris. She did a course on Lilith and Eve, where she talked about them as goddesses and kind of what Lilith representing the primordial essence of like uninhibited expression. And Lilith pretty much taught me how to embrace my sexuality with confidence. And I feel like it's not something that she necessarily teaches you. It's more like you already have it within you. She just brings it out. Um, there's just certain degrees of like my confidence that have just skyrocketed, even in my appearance that have changed because of Lilith. Also, Lilith has just been an influence in my life when it comes to my spirit, the spirits that I align with and that I work with. It's because of her that I met the other spirits of sacred prostitution, like Ashraf Zenunim, Agrat Batmalat, Nama. And I even did a whole video thing on it because of her introducing them to me.
Nice. That is amazing.
My experiences with Lilith, she showed me my past lives that were involved with her, and like I view Lilith very much as a goddess of the Yubai, so the succubi and the incubi, as well as the vampiric spirits. I feel like she's a mother to all of that and more. And she actually showed me one of my lifetimes as an incubus. She gave me the name and everything. And ever since I connected with her, like Aisha Zenunim, Agrat Batmalat, Nama, they feel like family. They feel, especially Ashraf comes through like a mother to me. And Lilith, I don't know, she's always been an inspiration. She feels kind of like a role model to who I want to become.
Yes. Wow, me too. And that is amazing. I think other people may have had similar experiences. Like, I know that I have had lifetimes before with Lilith.
And as she kind of shared that with me, eventually she started teaching me more around sex magic and vampiric magic. She ended up teaching me this spell called the Vampiric Eye.
Okay.
And it was like when she taught me this spell, I was like, why would I need this? I was like, I don't get it. And I wrote it down anyways, just reluctant. I was like, okay, let's see where this goes. And I realized later on it was very necessary.
I don't know if you'd be interested in sharing some of your techniques. I've noticed that a lot of people that tend to be watching this series do have a great interest in the vampiric aspects of Lilith. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if you're interested in sharing maybe some techniques for those that are new and maybe wanting to start.
Sure. Let me pull it up. So for the Vampiric Eye, she told me I have to put my hand like this.
Okay.
And kind of like if you were to imagine a single eye down at the palm of your hand, okay, and you're gonna kind of like fold your hand back, like if the eye is opening when you go like this.
Oh, okay.
So I'm obviously not gonna do the hand gesture as I say this, but
well, thank you.
So you take the target of the person's picture or image of them. You do that hand symbol. Okay. And you say, I cast the vampiric eye onto thee. And then this is in Latin. So it's signum mortis, magnum vitalis anime, intrat mihi infinitum. So it means I cast the death mark upon you, that vitality flow to me infinitely. Something like that.
Wow. Awesome.
It doesn't last forever. So it goes away after like 24 hours or around that time. Like I noticed that you'll feel that moment you receive the vitality, yeah, you'll feel that uplift, but then it'll start to kind of wane over time.
Okay. Wow. Very nice. That's awesome. Thank you for sharing that with us.
No problem.
Do you have any advice for anyone who may be considering working with Lilith, but they're not quite sure if they should or not?
Yes. Especially when it comes to guys, because I feel like men in general, they tend to avoid Lilith. I feel like they can still receive the benefit of like her support and her grace. I feel like people are afraid of her because of the lore around her. But with all spirits that have been demonized, I feel like we have to be able to separate ourselves from the lore, because it's the religious connotations that were put behind those words. Like, for example, like my relationship with Belial, it's completely different than what the lore says about him. And I find so much growth in that. And the same thing with Lilith. I feel like if there's something that you feel called to, regardless of your gender, regardless of your sexuality, follow it through and let you create your own experiences outside of the bias.
Absolutely. That's very good advice. Thank you so much for sharing that. It was the same for me. You know, anything that I heard about her before or read has been nothing at all like my experiences with her, as well as the other so-called demons, which I don't even like using that term because they are ancient gods.
Yeah.
So you just got to push past it and do it if you're called to it. So I absolutely agree. Well, it's been such an honor and a pleasure to have you here as a guest discussing Lilith.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you. And until next time, I wish you dark and wild blessings.